Shalom, it's me, that is Zion, and today I'm coming to you with the podcast family. And today's podcast topic is when femininity falls out of order, returning to Yahweh's design. Okay? All right, family. So, what we're going to do, we're going to speak on this hefty topic. Okay? When the beauty of womanhood strays from Yahweh's order, let's expose the true spirit that twists Yah's design for power, pride, and self-worship. Y14, count me in.
Domination, intimidation, and manipulation are distinct yet often overlapping forms of controlling behavior, witchcraft. Come Jezebel and Delilah, Jezebel and Delilah, Jezebel and Delilah. Don't give your power to a woman, Jezebel and Delilah.
All right, family, let's go ahead and begin. What is femininity? A set of attributes, behaviors, and roles traditionally associated with women, girls, such as nurturing, gentleness, and empathy, and can also include qualities like confidence and assertiveness. Kind, be kind. Femininity can appear more masculine or aggressive due to a combination of individual personality, societal pressure, and survival strategies, family. That's right. You heard exactly what I said. But it's not due to the lack of femininity itself. Societal expectations, which may suppress overtly aggressive or emotional responses in favor of traits like assertiveness and directness, can cause some women to adopt more masculine behaviors to achieve goals or protect themselves. Ultimately, masculine and feminine are fluid concepts, and what is perceived as aggressive may simply be a different behavioral preference or a learned survival tactic. Y'all heard that. But let's get into Yahweh's original design. Righteous femininity works with Yahweh's order, bringing life, nurture, and wisdom. All right, family, if you have not done so, go ahead and grab your Tanakh. And we're going to go to our first precept of today, according to this topic. Yes, that's right. Femininity does have some precepts, according to the Torah, that we're about to bring out. And we're going to chop them up. All right. First precept from our Torah is going to be Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. And Yah created man in his image. In the image of Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh, he created him. Male and female, he created them. All praises. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Yahweh, the Elohekah, said, "It is not good for man to be alone. I will make a fitting helper for him." Now, family, what is the key word that we need to take out of that lovely Torah precept? That word is going to be ding, 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 fitting helper. Oh, y'all heard it. Y'all created a female from the male as a partner in purpose, not competition. And there's a lot of y'all doing that out here in Babylon. But let's continue as we look back at the term femininity, it clearly states multiple attributes to this term. But the main term I want to focus on today is going to be that masculine assertiveness. The same masculine assertiveness gets you in trouble with your issue. All right, but let's continue. This is a concept that describes a woman confidently expressing her needs, thoughts, and boundaries in a direct and assertive manner. Now, family, y'all know that we done seen out here too many times women asserting that masculine energy towards men in Babylon. And truth be told, some of them do it in the truth. Y'all better stop that. It's more on the lines of demanding, controlling, or, and to not, the terms to rule over one, which is the position of the man, not the Isha or a Kat. Kat? Woo! Big eye. So, family, when you reverse the order of Yah's laws, you get a lot of, once again, what you see. Women trying to push dictatorship over a man. And sometimes they ain't even they man. Okay, let's continue to our next Torah fundamental precept, which is Genesis chapter 3. And let me drink some of this water because it's a long read, family. And y'all know I like to read. All right, let's continue. The serpent appealed to the desire of independence for independence from divine order when speaking to, guess who? Eve. When he spoke to Eve. Okay, he ain't do that to Adam. He spoke to Eve. All right. The serpent stated, "You will be like the Elohim." Ooh, and Eve had the nerve to believe that. That's a shame. But let's continue. We know in previous readings, from what we just read now, she was already informed by Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh not to eat that fruit. Which kind? She did inform the serpent that Yah said do not eat it, or you will surely die. Yeah, he meant what he said, but she didn't take it literally. Because why? She still allowed herself to be tricked. So she made a decision to eat of that fruit, family, which was definitely against her cover, Yahweh. God, when femininity or the feminine intuition detaches from obedience, it becomes self-directed rather than Yahweh directed, leading both men and women into disorder. Because once again, she took that same fruit back to her ish. The danger in femininity is when feminine charm becomes a tool for power. Okay? And y'all know y'all do it. Attention. Okay? Or manipulation. And y'all definitely do that. It deforms into idolatry of self. Okay. Self-valuing appearance over character. Now, I know, family, that may be a hard pill to swallow for some. I absolutely know that. Okay? But while y'all over there digesting this, let's go ahead and pour some Isaiah 3, verse 16 on that goat. Okay, we're going to try to wash it down. Where Yahweh said, because the daughters of Zion are so vain and walk with heads thrown back. I got y'all heads thrown back. I be seeing y'all in the streets with roving eyes and with mincing God, making a tinkling with their feet. You know them heels. I'm just saying. Isaiah condemns a society where outward beauty and pride overshadowed holiness. Y'all heard what he said? He said he condemned a society, family, where outward beauty and pride overshadowed holiness. All right, just make sure y'all got that part. Femininity pulls from a seductive spirit which goes against wisdom. Oh, well, I know you probably like what Ben is saying. How does it go against wisdom? I don't really think I want to hear that part, but however, do tell me. Oh, I'm going to tell you. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 7, verse 10. I'm going to wait for you to get there, okay? While you flipping your pages, I'm going to drink some more water. Because like I said, ooh, this is a long read, family. Y'all don't know all this typing I done done on this daggone video right here. Oh, I'm going to read everything. Okay. Just be ready for me, because I'm coming. All right. Proverbs chapter 7, verse 10. And it states, from wisdom, a woman comes towards him dressed like a harlot. Y'all know I know other words, but dressed like a harlot with a set purpose. Okay. This precept exposes how the spirit of seduction, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, works to weaken covenant faithfulness and replace it with desire or idolatry. The seductive spirit described here is not just physical temptation, family. It is a spirit that manipulates desire, flattery, and ego to pull people away from your head, Yahweh's truth. Now, family, it said pull people away from your head, Yahweh's truth. Now, when it says people, that's for them ones who like to be dipping in both pots. You know what I'm saying? So, that type of spirit too. Okay, just so y'all know. Now, let's go ahead and turn your precept to Proverbs chapter 5, verse 5. We got some more wisdom for you. So, y'all need to hear up and catch up. All right, now, it states, her feet go down to death. Oh, death. I heard that. Y'all heard that too? If you ain't here, go read it. Because the next part is her steps take hold of Sheol. That means it's hot. Okay? It's hot down there where you're going. All right. This symbolizes moral decay and distance from the Most High Yahweh. Man, so those little skirts that y'all be following and chasing out there, just know they're out there to tempt you for a reason. Because why? They want to make sure that your spirit is decayed. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and go to Proverbs chapter 5, verse 7. So after 6, just go to 7. That's where we at. Proverbs 5 still. Y'all ready? All right. Pay close attention. Kind. So now, my sons, pay heed to me, and do not swerve from the words of my mouth. Woo! Now, family. Yeah. Put together this pretty precept, right? Within your wisdom. Talking and targeting now specifically to the undisciplined mind, family. The undisciplined mind. You know how your mind sees something and it gets to wandering off and start thinking about all the things you want to do to what you saw? That type of mind. And do you allow those feelings, family, to get caught up and you go do stuff. And now you caught up in a position that you know you need to be in. So like, okay? All right, now, the sons who do not listen are easily distracted by charm, appearance, or emotion. Meaning a woman who come over here and say, oh, you look so good while she might be groping your beard. One of those. Or a woman that walk around and have little skirts on, or tight leggings and all that type of stuff, and showing a little print and bend over and pick up a penny she done found on the ground. One of those. Or one that walks up to you and just start crying because you want to leave her because you know what better is, and she just start, I can't. One of those. Emotional. Okay. The seductive spirit grows when wisdom is ignored. Okay? So whenever you feed into and allow that type of ruach to fester on you, you are not using your logics whenever it comes to that, okay? You're allowing yourself to be overthrown and giving your power over to a woman. And unfortunately, that's something you should not be doing. Because why? It's all going to lead to Sheol. But let's continue. Make sure you are aware that this type of behavior, it definitely will pull you away from Torah, masking spiritual death as emotional or physical pleasure. So, men, when your Johnson, okay, begins to rise, don't try it like I done said something weird. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Your Johnson, okay? When it start to rise because it's being attracted to the buttocks, the breasts, the lips, etc. on a woman that is speaking to you, right? And you decide to partner up with what you see and go and fulfill the desires that you feel within yourself, you are not only losing yourself, you are definitely losing that spiritual battle as well. You're losing that spiritual battle, okay? So whenever that happens to you, men, I'm going to say it like this because I'm not a man, so I don't know how much it takes you to completely say certain things to yourself to get yourself out of a situation or to get your jang to go down. I don't know. But what you need to do, you need to look at that woman and look at her and just be like, hey, are you Isha material? Can she submit to Yah the way that she is supposed to submit to Yah? Can I pray with her? You know what I'm saying? Can she be a truth-seeking partner to me when I need her to be, but not just for me, ultimately for Yah? Can she do that? Because if she cannot do none of those things that you asking for, men, okay, why you still standing there having the conversation? Huh? 9 times out of 10, family, you can see what somebody is about by the way that they dress. I'm so serious. Or if you just stand off in the distance and watch how they communicate with other people, or the things that you see that they're interested in. Okay? So you should be able to tell who's going to be your long life partner that you can do life with. If you can't think of more than 2 qualities out of somebody to see if you can do life with them, the chances are you need to go ahead and exit the door. You know what I'm saying? Don't be standing up there with somebody looking like something, okay? And then they walking around with scandalous, no modest apparel on whatsoever, but yet you find it attractive because it was attracting you at that one particular meeting. But then 3-4 years later down the road, heck, we ain't even gonna get the years, forget that. 3-4 weeks, because Babylon, boy, I tell you, y'all be flipping them like some hotcakes. But anyways, 3-4 weeks later on down the road, you want to tell her to change something about herself, those clothes, you know what I'm saying? And if she butt back at your butt, you should have stopped that daggone interaction when you first saw her. Because you can't sit there and be okay with something, and then when you get someone into the truth, you know what I'm saying, and they don't want to let it go, you know what I'm saying, and then you get mad, and now you over here want to flip out and want to force somebody to do something that you was okay with because it attracted you, but you don't want her to be attracting other people else. That don't make no sense. So yeah, best thing to do, family, is keep your body under control and keep your body from being exposed. Okay? All right now, Ox. If you are not mentally wise enough to do these type of things that I just listed, you're going to end up as Proverbs chapter 5, verse 5. Okay? Walking down to death. Because she's going to lead you there. Okay. All right. Now, let's look at the consequences of misused femininity. You ready? Ladies, off the ox, back on you. Here we go. That some of you probably unknowingly do now or may acknowledge as being done. While you're still inside your Tanakh, let's go ahead and go to Micah chapter 6, verse 16. Y'all hear it and get there. It gets juicier. All right, family, let's go. Yet you have kept the laws of Omri and all the practices of the house of Ahab, and have followed what they devised, Therefore, I will make you an object of horror, and her inhabitants an object of hissing, and you shall bear the mockery of peoples. Now, family, if y'all don't get that, then get this. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 17 through 19. Don't you see what they are doing in the towns of Yahudah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather sticks, the fathers build the fires, and the mothers knead the dough to make cakes for the queen of heaven. Now, we know ain't no queen in heaven. Just so y'all know, that's why I'm making this video. All right. They pour out libations to other gods to vex me. Is it me they are vexing? Says Yahweh. It is rather themselves to their own disgrace. Whoa! When feminine creativity is redirected towards false worship or social vanity, it feeds idolatry and weakens family and a nation, such as Israel. The worship of the Queen of Heaven, Astarte, is a fertility goddess from Canaanite cultures. Her worship celebrated beauty, sexuality, and fertility. Examples given: pagan holidays such as Easter honors the pagan god Astara. Yoga honors the pagan god Shiva. These are false deities that thrive off of beauty. This is one reason why you hear some life coaches or yoga instructors say, I feel more connected and centered. Or, there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. You know, that BS. All right, let's break down these quotes, for a deeper perspective from the Most High Yahweh. I feel more connected and centered. Oh, baby, what you should be asking yourself is connected to who and what? All right, the Sanskrit word yoga literally means union, specifically union with Brahman. Not Brahman off Martin, but Brahman, the supreme being in Judaism. The spiritual intent of yoga is connection to Hindu deity Silaka, or to divine energy that often personified in deities like Shiva. This is spiritual alignment to idolatrous systems condemned by Yahweh himself. Now, flip your Torah all the way to some more common sense. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 9 through 12. And it states, when you enter the land, meaning you and me and everybody else in Israel, that Yod-Heh, Wah-Heh, your Elohim God is giving you, you shall not learn to imitate the abhorrent practices of those nations. For whoever does these things is abhorrent to Yahweh, your Elohim God. Now, family, this precept, especially this precept right here, includes two mention of spiritual systems and rituals tied to other deities, even when they seem peaceful and healing. So my question, Israel, royal family, would be, why can't you seek peace within Yah instead of going everywhere? Why can't Yah heal you? Because he do heal everything. Didn't he say he heal and he make alive and he kill and he destroy? So why you can't go to only him for that? I'm just saying. All right, instead of submit to Baal. So my assumption would be because you, family, desire independence from divine order, such as Eve did. Yeah, you see how I twisted that and turned that thing right back? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We back at the beginning. And guess what? That desire is easy to be tricked. But at that moment of trickery, you still have decisions that need to be made, because why? Yah gave us free will. All praise to the Most High Yah. Now that second quote, let's go ahead and jump in from these life coaches, such as Miss E. Ooh, child, girl, bye. There is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Life coaches often say this to mean that people intellectually understand what they should do, but they don't act on it. That's a hot mess. This is a motivational idea rooted in human self-determination, implying that you can map out your own life, woo, your own path, and through awareness and the willpower to do it. That's what they out there teaching y'all, and y'all just eating it up. That's foolishness, and guess what? That's a flawed ideal by Torah. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 28. And it states, and y'all help me get over there because I ain't going backwards. All right. The secret things belong to Yahweh, our Elohei God. But the things that are revealed belong to us and to our children forever, that we may observe all the words of this teaching. So, life coaches teach people to trust the universe. Boy, did y'all tell you to trust the universe? No, he didn't tell you to trust the universe. He said have faith in him. Trust him. Y'all some nutcases. Okay, and also what else you daggone life coaches do? Y'all sit there and talking about some manifest your path. Whew. But the Tanakh teaches submission to divine mystery that only Yod-Heh-Wahed knows. The hidden direction of your life. God, the unknown is sacred, not something to be controlled or predicted. Our wisdom also teaches us, family. Now we're going to go back. We're going to go back up here to Proverbs, okay? Now we're going to go to Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. I'm going to pop some of you in the mouth, okay? All right. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart and lean not upon your own understanding. Don't lean on it, okay? Because it ain't going to help you. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight, okay? Now, if we once again redirect our attention to Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, all right, and it's stated where, now the serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild beasts that Yod-Heh-Wahed made, and said to the women, did Yah really say you shall not eat any of the tree of the garden? The serpent, he only did not just put doubt in Eve's mind, he also made Eve doubt the words of Yah. And that's something that we should not be doing. Okay? Now, let's go ahead to Genesis chapter 3, verse 4 through 6. And I'm going to read this out as well. Make sure you follow along. The serpent said to Eve, you are not going to die. But Yah knows that as soon as you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like divine beings who know good and bad. When the woman saw that the tree was good for eating and delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desirable as a source of wisdom, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave some to her husband, and he ate. Now, throughout these scriptures, we can understand that Eve saw and Eve coveted. And I know some of you, family, might not agree with me on that. However, it's very much coveting, okay? She wanted to covet the authority of the Most High Yah, okay? She disregarded the oral law of Yahweh. So, once again, with her wanting to do this, she wanted to possess wisdom and she wanted to be divine, as Yod-Heh-Wahed is, which is definitely coveting his authority. All right, family. Eve got us put out the Garden of Eden. I'm just saying. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue. Eve didn't merely admire, she desired what was beyond her righteous boundaries, okay? This means she longed for independence from Yah. She wanted the ability to define morality for herself. That's the essence of idolatry and rebellion. wanting to be as Yah is instead of rather being with Yah. You see that? That's a big difference. You cannot want to be the creator or be in the same lane as the creator. Why you can't be happy with being created and submitting to the one who created you? Y'all need to figure that out and digest that pill. Woo! Her desire for wisdom was not for righteousness, but for equality with the divine, which is the very rebellion Torah warns against. And truth be told, family, that spirit still walks around Babylon as of today, telling Akkats, you don't need order. You don't need a covering. You define your truth. That sounds like a bunch of femininity empowerment BS to me. What about you, family? Drop it in the comment. It's the same form of deception, truth be told. Self-worship disguised as freedom. When femininity detaches from divine order, it breeds chaos and is masked as confidence. This would be one of the reasons why the Israelite Ish will keep their Ishas from women until their Ish is able to authenticate and evaluate the doctrine that one Akkad has, right? Because if he does not do that for his Isha's protection, he will be entering into some type of covenant where the Isha will be overthrown. She gonna be in a position where she's brainwashed, okay? She gonna be over here talking bad, being rude. The girl gonna be like, friend, I can't believe you listening to him and letting him tell you to do this and do that. Don't you know it's Saturday night? The night done fell. It shouldn't be Shabbat no more. Let's go to the club, girl. Let's go turn up. And now you got problems in your home. All right. So, femininity does not belong in the Torah. Femininity does not belong with Ishas. Shalom, Barakat.